Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Legend of the Last Airbender.
With your host,
okay, do your thing.
The Black Lotus Society.
I am Tracy.
And I'm Johnny. What's
We are
up?
obviously the Black Lotus Society. Woo woo.
Yep.
And we are on, chapter 4 now?
Yep.
And this, what is going on here? If you don't put that on silent. Right now. Yeah, I heard it.
All right. There we go.
Yeah.
Let's get this started.
Like I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by you.
It happens.
We are on chapter 4, which is one of my favorite episodes of the entire series, and that is the Kyoshi, the Warriors of Kyoshi. Mm-hmm. I like this episode because we're introduced to some pretty cool characters that come back up, and it's really interesting, like the dynamic of character development here with mostly Sokka,
yeah,
and a little bit of Katara. But I like what goes on in this episode. I like how it starts. I like the characters. I like how they interact. I like how they grow and progress throughout the episode. Like, it's pretty dope.
In this one episode, you see each of them grow in a certain way for different
Except for
reasons.
Aang.
No, even Aang.
Nah, he's still a little bitch.
Even Aang. You see him kind of take responsibility and do something.
Yeah, but only, let's get into it. Start us off.
So, how we start off is we're on Zuko's ship. He's meditating. And Iroh comes in, he's like, I got news, but don't get upset.
I like the part. He's like, Uncle, yo, you taught me that I need to control my emotions and just be chill, right? He was like, yeah, dude, that's cool.
It's like, I can handle
So we have no idea where the Avatar is. This motherfucker's like, what? He just starts fire bending out of nowhere. He's like, yo, I need you to relax. Should probably open a window if you're going to do that.
That's what they say. Should probably open a window. Jeez.
But it's funny, though, because he prefaces it by saying, if you don't know where the Avatar, unless you have news about the Avatar, don't say anything. I was like, well, not having news isn't the same as having news. Like, he could have just been like, all right, cool,
anyway.
I'm out. Like, no, because Iroh didn't have to tell him they didn't know where he was. They already knew that they didn't know where he was.
But
so why did he have to come and tell him? Like, did they know and then they didn't know?
Well, that's what it was. He explains basically he's hard to track down. They've caught he
said people have seen him.
Yeah, so they're looking, and the only reason they ever get word of anywhere where he's at is because they go around, they literally search, they ask people, they question people and stuff like that. So I'm assuming they found out that he's there, and then he's gone the next minute. And
yeah, pretty much. And Katara pretty much said that we can't stay in one spot, otherwise they're gonna track us down and stuff like that. So I could see that, but at the same time, I wouldn't have said anything. I would have kept that shit to myself. Like, that's not worth talking about. If he says, all right, hey, only thing I need to know is where the Avatar is, I'm not going to tell him where he isn't.
Well, I assume at this point they've been jumping around from place to place, getting clues here and there, but then feeling led on because
I feel you.
He's nowhere to be found. So he's like, all right, we can't find him.
And then we skip to Aang. He has no idea where he's going either.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't know.
It's so funny because in that part, before it cuts from Zuko and Iroh, Zuko's like, he's clearly a master of evasive maneuvering.
Yeah, and he was like, you have no idea where we're going.
Yeah,
he's like, well, I know it's near water. He's like, well, then we should be getting close. And it's just all water everywhere. Like, yeah.
So they head basically to the shore.
We're still on the goddamn Aang fun tour.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing that kills me. Like, after all the shit that's happened up until this point, we're still on the Aang fun tour.
Yeah.
He wants to ride this goddamn elephant koi.
Yeah.
I do. But before we get there, because we do have to get to the part where this kind of prefaces the episode too, where Katara is sewing his pants and Aang's trying to impress her.
Oh, yeah, with that little air thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That has to be basic airbending bullshit. Like, okay, I was cool once. I don't want to say shit again.
It had marbles in it.
This shit's whack.
That's what made it cool.
But then, so he's like, he's trying to impress Katara. Katara's busy because she's sewing Sokka's pants. And then Sokka's dumbass is like, you can't talk to girls when they're doing their sewing thing. She was like, yo, what the fuck does that have to do with anything?
She throws the pants at his face.
He was like, that's just the way the world goes. Women sew and cook and men hunt and do important stuff. And it's like,
So that's how the episode starts off. His misogynistic view, because that's where he comes from. His tribe is like that.
And then and that's what I was gonna say. It's hard to blame him. He's a little extreme with it because he's still a kid. Yeah. And that's the thing, like, I have to remember, because while I was watching the episode, I was like, Sokka, you're a fucking asshole. But that was like, but he's a kid who's only seen one part of the world, his, and how they do things. And while those may be the roles in that particular tribe, that doesn't necessarily mean no one ever taught him the importance of what women do.
Exactly. He doesn't understand the true value.
Yeah, and him being the oldest man in that tribe, when once again, they sent all the men away.
All of them.
He's literally he's doing what he thinks he's supposed to do. So I can't blame him. I think his views are obviously askew, but it's hard to blame him.
Culture shock leaving the water tribe, basically. Both him and Katara get a real culture shock, like,
big time,
of how other tribes do things, and
or just how other people do things in general, because they've never seen it. So everything is like, it's almost like when you watch like those movies where it's like a guy goes back to medieval times or some shit, and they're like, oh my god, a phone, what is that? Like that's what it feels like for them, because they're just like, huh.
Like if somebody from the early 1900s could see what's going on right now.
Yeah, that's what it would look like. They're just out of place. They're like, other people do stuff?
What the?
Things exist? This is weird. This is suspicious.
So that's why he kind of reacts to things so inappropriately in this episode.
Very
doesn't
inappropriately.
Really make him completely an a-hole, even though he is in some ways.
He is definitely.
But it wasn't out of place for him knowing where he came from and what he doesn't know about the rest of the world, or outside of his traditions.
Yeah.
But basically we go through later on, it cuts through to
He's trying to ride these elephant koi.
Yeah, he's riding the elephant koi and stuff like that. He's trying to
He immediately was like, Katara, you have to watch me. And I'm just like, dude, you have to relax.
Oh, he's a little aggressive.
Look, I will say, my game isn't the best, but I know that you can't just start telling people, hey, you have to watch what I'm doing. Look at me.
That's the only reason.
Look at me.
That's the only way she's going to see how
Look
cool
at me.
it is.
Well, they're there. What else is she going to do?
I don't know. Look at the sky. I don't know.
What else is she going to do?
I don't know.
That's all I'm saying.
Appa, brush his teeth.
This nigga is in his drawers riding elephant koi. Like, it's hard to miss. Just saying.
First of all, that's scary as hell.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to see a koi that big ever in my life.
I don't know. That thing could eat me.
I seen one before that was like this big, 3 feet big, and it was fat. That was scary as hell.
That thing could eat your foot.
Yeah. No, for reals.
I don't trust fish. I don't trust fish.
Especially
I don't trust birds. I don't trust anything. All animals are dangerous and they don't deserve us.
Not
at all. Roly-polies will murder you. No. In your sleep.
They're sweet creatures.
Yeah, okay.
So we go on, and he's riding the elephant koi, doesn't realize there's something in the water. Katara and Sokka see that.
Well, Katara doesn't see it right away because she goes to stop Appa from eating something, apparently.
Oh, see?
That's where she goes. All she does, she looks over, she says, Appa, don't eat that. Like, we don't know what the fuck he's eating or why it's important that he doesn't eat it, but we know that it's important enough for Katara to try and stop him. But what we do see, 2 of the other koi fish break off, and they start running away. And Sokka immediately sees it. He sees the fin of whatever this monster is. And he's like, yo, Aang, chill out. Like, you need to come back. And then Katara comes back. And Sokka's telling him, like, yo, there's something in that water with him. And they're waving him back, like, come back. And he thinks they're waving because he's stupid and naive.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I know. Super cool, right? And then all of a sudden, what I assume is that the koi he was riding just got eaten. Because it stopped suddenly and Aang gets thrown.
Snap.
I think he got eaten.
That's terrible. I thought what happened was the fish went down in the water, but like he just bumped him off and was like.
No, I think he got jerked back. I think he got eaten.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
That could be the one casualty in the
one
show.
Casualty, the one person.
But yeah, that thing, whatever that creature was, right now we're gonna call it a
creature,
sea serpent,
sea monster,
something of the sorts. It's like a.
Well, we don't even know it's a serpent. We just see a fin.
Oh. Well, no. Well, I mean, we see it when he gets bumped into the water. So basically, he doesn't see it yet, but it's right behind him. The shadow's coming up, and then he's like, what the heck? He finally turns around, and he gets like a huge shock, and he starts doing that.
He starts running. It's super cartoon running. Yeah. That over-the-top cartoon running. He's got snot coming out of his face. It's all flopping in the wind.
He's all
it's
running
pretty fun.
On top of the water to get away from this thing.
So is
That's
he airbending at that point, or is he water bending and he just doesn't know it?
Maybe.
Little column A, little column B.
Okay, that's a good question.
Because when he was doing that, I was kind of wondering. I was like, okay, how would that be airbending per se?
Well, it could be airbending. He's moving his arms,
but he's
moving
running.
his legs. But that could be with the force to move the air around him.
Okay.
Possibly. My theory.
I think it might be a little column A, column B.
Maybe it's a little bit of both. Maybe he is halfway water bending at the same time, and he's so scared, but he just doesn't realize it.
And adrenaline makes you do crazy things.
It does. So going on forward, he goes in the shore and he bumps into Sokka and pretty much rams him into a tree. And then that must have been what alerted whoever was nearby, because at this point, now you see these female warriors.
Or it could have been the screaming from all the fun he was having.
Okay, yeah, that too.
I mean, it's a strong possibility that he was just his screaming like somebody is out there riding fucking koi fish. Like,
like what the hell?
Who the fuck is on the beach riding a goddamn koi fish?
But there they are, the female warriors.
We don't even see them because they just get jacked up and captured.
Oh yeah, true. We just see their uniforms, but you can tell it's a dress at this point.
When they're unblindfolded, I love it because this part right here to me is a little over the top. Because Sokka's like, where are the men who ambushed us? Like, very specifically, like, who did it, not who did it, not who attacked us. He's very specific about, like, how he addresses them. And I think that's over the top because I feel like in that situation, you're not going to start asking for specifics.
Well, I think what he does, and this is what I think when I realize, like, when I've watched the other episodes, what Sokka does, a tactic he does when he's, like, against an opponent, he's a shit talker. He makes sure, like, he's like, I'm going to take you down, whatever. Or he's that kind of shit talker, especially with the female in this case.
But yeah, because he does. He was like, he goes, who attacked us? And they unblindfold him. He goes like, where are the men who attacked us? Like, they're like, oh yeah, where are the men who ambushed us?
That was purposeful,
probably. And Psycho was like, so Suki's like, yo, what? That wasn't no man. We did that shit, son.
He's like, there's no way a bunch of girls could have beaten us or whatever. And she's like, oh, a bunch of little girls? What'd she say? She's like, the Naga's gonna eat.
Because they're like, tell us where
tonight.
She'll like, you could, because they think they're Fire Nation spies, and he's like, if you don't tell us, we're gonna feed you to the Unagi, which is that monster. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as he said that, she's like, yeah, Unagi's gonna eat good tonight. And he's just
she wasn't playing,
and he doesn't even care. He's like, man, fuck that. No, show me the dudes who jumped me. Like, he didn't care less.
Katara had to save his ass. She's like, no, wait.
She's like, sorry,
my brother's just an idiot.
Yeah, big time.
Just chill on him, please.
And then that's when they kind of like, he's like, oh, you guys are Kyoshi warriors. It's the island of Kyoshi. I know Kyoshi. And of course, they're like, that's bullshit,
like
man.
Over 400 years old.
Yeah, it's like he's been dead for quite some time. He was like, and he's like, well, I'm the Avatar. So technically, I am Kyoshi. They're like, okay, but no, the Avatar was an airbender.
He doesn't even believe them. They like what he's saying at this point. He's like, you're an imposter. Go throw him to the Naga.
And then, Katara's like, how about you airbend? Stupid. I know. Because I'm like, that would have been the first thing. As soon as she was like,
just waiting for them to go grab him
Suki
up.
was like, no, because the last airbender was the Avatar was an airbender who disappeared over 100 years ago. And then he's like, yeah, that's right. Just sits there. And Katara's like, you fucking moron.
What's going on here?
It's like, yeah, bro. I mean, look, she just said airbender. Everyone but you knows that you're the last one.
Do your thing.
Yo, now would be a good time. He's like, oh yeah, you're right. And he does some airbending.
He wants to be he did it all cool too, the way he broke out of the rope.
Exactly.
He went into the air and then he came back down.
Look at what I can do. And then stupid little marble trick.
I love how everybody was like, whoa, when he stood there kind of cool for a second.
Get foaming mouth guy. I like foaming mouth guy. The dude passes out. How does that, I've never foamed at the mouth before. Like, how does that happen? I don't know. I don't know how that happens.
That's only in anime.
But animes, but like movies will do it too sometimes, where they'll just like show like they're like usually extreme comedies, but
yeah. But I don't know.
But to me, it's like, is that a thing that's happened before? That's where it comes from? Like
excitement?
Yeah, like you get so excited, you just start foaming at the mouth because you can't handle it or something. Like
maybe it means like just kind of getting drooly, or
I hope I never meet The Rock because I'm gonna foam. I'm gonna foam at the fucking mouth.
You're gonna be standing there,
right? I don't know how I would fucking act.
You're The Rock.
I'd like to think I'd be cool. Because I've met some celebrities and been pretty cool about it.
Have you, like, in your shower, do you ever, like, imagine yourself?
No, I don't. I don't have those scenarios in my head.
I do constantly.
I can't. I just like to think. I'd like to think that I'll just be like, oh yeah, that's cool. What's up, man?
I can't tell you how many times I planned it because I have to make sure I act cool when I see somebody.
But then you're not gonna act cool at all. It's different when it's in your head. But then when you get there,
if I practice it enough, I can remember. I'd be like, oh yeah, The Rock.
Do you do run throughs?
I really do. And then sometimes I'll be like, wait, start all over.
I wonder if he prefers to be called The Rock or Dwayne. Like, am I supposed to not call him The Rock anymore?
No, you're supposed to say Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Mr. The Rock.
Mr. The Rock, can you please tell me?
Can you sign my t-shirt, please? Like, how old are you? 34.
Talk just like that.
Exactly. All right, where were we? All right, so he gets out. He reveals himself. Foaming mouth guy. It's my favorite part. And then now, because for whatever reason, their concern is Fire Nation spies. However, somebody in the town of Kyoshi tells somebody in a nearby town, who tells somebody else in a nearby town, who tells somebody else in a nearby town.
It was a little girl, a little dumbass girl.
Man, somebody's got to start
it. But where was her mom and dad?
You know what, though? But that's the thing about kids in this whole show, because we saw from the first 2 episodes that Sokka was trying to tell these kids how important it was that they shut the fuck up and, like, be real. The Fire Nation exists and they could come. And then what happened when they came, those kids were just like, holy shit. And then they were like, go get him, Sokka. And I'm just like, poor Sokka. They fed him to the fucking wolves, man. But in this, it's the same situation. These kids don't take anything seriously. The elder of this town has basically like...
When you think about it, that's kids in real life.
Yeah, man.
Your own nieces and nephews. Could you trust
them?
Could you trust them?
But they live in the age of technology.
Child,
these kids don't, man. They should at least know, like, shit is real. Like, I don't know.
These kids think everything is a game.
Yeah, apparently.
So, I mean, that it's just a reflection of real life. You know what I mean? Like,
I get it.
Don't take shit seriously. Aang, for the longest time, he didn't take shit seriously.
I mean, probably up until season 3, pretty much still doesn't.
Yeah, at this point, like, he has spurts here and there.
The only time this guy gets serious is when Appa gets taken, and then when he loses to the fight, when their plan doesn't come together.
Hey, we're not at that part yet.
We'll get there. Everybody knows, man. If you haven't seen it now, how are we spoiling anything? This show has been around for how long now?
We don't want to confuse somebody. What if somebody wants to listen to this, be like, you know what?
Well, then, let's get back to my original point, is that Zuko found out because he heard it from a friend, who heard it from a friend, who heard it from a friend, who heard it from a friend.
They're probably not even friends. They're probably random people just like hearsay.
R.E.L. Speedwagon. Heard it from a friend who...
Wow.
Heard it from a friend who...
I've never heard that.
I've only heard it in Family Guy, to be honest.
Wow.
But so he finds out, he's like... He doesn't vet the information either. He's just like, well, guess we're going to Kyoshi Island. He was like, Uncle, get the rhinos.
Oh,
he was like, all right, cool.
I was trying to figure out what they were.
And he left. I love this part too, because he left his food, and Uncle's like, "Are you gonna eat that?" Zuko picks it up and is like, "I'm saving it for later." Uncle was mad as hell.
He ain't gonna eat it.
He ain't gonna eat that later. He gonna throw that away.
It's like our sister. I'm gonna eat it later.
Not that ever. Yeah, pretty much sits there. I don't know how it lasts that long. Between you and Dad, leftovers are not a thing. You can't save shit.
They're not. Try to
put your name on it, won't even matter.
Just be like, it's up for grabs.
So now we get to the point. So we're here now. They have this cool spread. Sokka's not feeling himself. Aang is getting the Beatles treatment from everyone in town. And Katara is the only one who seems to understand.
Beatles treatment?
Yeah, because, I mean, it feels that way. Watch. We'll get to it. But Katara basically tells him, like, hey, we can't stay here that long. We need to stock up on supplies and get going. Because if we stay in one spot too long, the Fire Nation will track us down. And Aang's like, nah, man, we're cool, man. Everyone loves me, man. It's all great, man. Like,
he's just loving all the attention. He's eating good food.
And we come to find out he really does enjoy being the center of attention, which is a little narcissistic for a monk.
Right?
Like, if it was anyone else, I'd be like, all right, fair. We're only human. But you're a monk, buddy.
He grew up with the monks. It wasn't a voluntary choice.
But he was still a monk.
It was not a voluntary choice.
He specifically...
He is not in the air temple anymore.
He specifically calls himself... Anymore. But from what I gathered, based on the entire series, he didn't stay at that air temple a lot either. He always talks about going places and talking to people and doing all that stuff.
He's never
this monk shit is bad.
He never lived a lifestyle that said he wanted to be a monk.
Oh, they're just bad at being monks.
He wanted to be a regular kid, to be honest.
He's a monk. His head is bald.
He just likes the look, to be honest. That's what it made me think. He just likes the look and just loves the people he grew up with.
He does. He even specifically tells Katara, he was like, hey, I'm just a humble monk, son. Like, I'm not going to let it go to my head. And then they're asking Sokka, like, what's his deal? And Katara, she's kind of being a dick about it. She's like, oh, he's just mad that he got his butt kicked by some girls.
Hey, he had it coming.
And he was just like, fucking all these fucking girls over here. Bullshit.
Cuts to Sokka going to see what's up with
he does. He goes
the Warriors.
Yep.
And he goes bugs them, and he starts being an asshole again. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt your dance session or whatever."
Like, look, they beat your ass, bro. At this point, you just got to shut up. Like,
I think he figured, you know what? I wasn't ready last time, and
then you caught me off guard.
So he tries to teach her some
He does.
stuff.
He was like, I'm the best fighter in my village. He's like, you're also the only guy in your village right now. So he was like, ooh, the best fighter, huh? What do you say, girl? Should we have him show us some moves? And then he gets his ass handed to him. And he's embarrassed, as he should be.
Yeah.
As he should be. And then, once again, Aang does the exact opposite of what he tells Katara, and he's letting being the Avatar get to his head. And this is why I say he's getting the Beatles treatment. He's being chased this way. He's being chased that way. Everyone's just randomly screaming, even though he's not doing anything.
He had little groupies and stuff.
Yeah, he was trying to take the picture. That guy had me die because he was like, all right, drawing a picture of the Avatar. This should
another
be easy.
Little girl.
Okay, there's another one. Just make a couple of adjustments. Okay, there's more. Okay, this is getting out of control. Yeah, he was just like, you know what? I don't think I'm getting paid at all for this. But
I better get paid for this. Then it cuts to Sokka.
Sokka humbles himself.
Pretty much goes back. He's like apologizing to her. He's like, I shouldn't have been insulting about you being females and stuff like that. Can you teach me? And
that's what I'm saying. Like he humbles himself, but this is also like we were talking about earlier. He doesn't know any better. Literally, that's why he didn't have to be coerced into an apology by Katara or anything like that. He went against for it on his own because he knew he was wrong.
Yeah.
And he felt it once he realized, like, holy shit, like I'm the asshole in this situation. Like he immediately humbles himself. Like, okay, I didn't think that this was possible, and I'm looking at things differently now, and I want to understand it.
He knows he wants to be a better warrior, and he knows he's gonna have to swallow his pride and learn from a female.
Yeah. Which, I mean, how's that a bad thing? They kicked your ass. I take those lessons.
I think it felt bad knowing where he came from, where there aren't female warriors.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It's like, that's freaking
you
crazy.
gotta humble yourself. You just gotta humble yourself.
It's
man.
like, no way I got my ass beat by somebody who should be sewing my pants right
But
now.
also, like, in general, outside of like the Kyoshi warriors and then later 3 other women who fight in this, there's not a lot of like women in this show who are fighters. Like there's individuals, but there's never like a group. The Kyoshi warriors are the only group of female warriors.
That's what made them so cool.
That's what made them so pretty, dude. Because Kyoshi is a badass.
I got a question.
I have an answer probably.
So we know her name, Suki. How old do you think these girls are?
14.
Yeah?
I'm going to say 14.
Why would their warriors be 14?
Okay, this is something that I've always thought about because I think that it's insane. But Batman hires child soldiers. The Hunger Games is about child soldiers. Everything is about kid soldiers. Why? Because kids are expendable. The Power Rangers were teenagers. They weren't adults. The smarter thing to do is to get adults, but adults don't have time for bullshit.
True.
Kids don't know any better.
They train them young.
Think about it. Think about it this way, right? When Batman gets Dick Grayson after his parents are killed, he entices him with revenge. He's like, yeah, we could get revenge on your parents and all this other stuff, and then you'll be helping. You'll be doing a good thing. Kids love that superhero shit. So Dick Grayson as a kid was like, fuck yeah, I love to be Robin. When he got older, he realized what was happening, and he immediately tried to get away from Batman because he knew I was your soldier. I was your good little boy. I did everything you told me to do. And now look at me. I'm a disaster. You know what I mean? I can't go anywhere. I can't be a normal person.
Yeah.
Kids are easy to manipulate. That's why I feel like, especially if you start them young, like you saw the Black Widow movie, right?
Yeah.
All of those assassins were orphan girls that started out at a very young age. It's easy. It's harder to do it with adults. Imagine trying to get an adult who's like homeless, like, hey, we can teach you to be assassins. I'm like, man, get the fuck off me. You're gonna get me killed. Like, you know what I mean?
But a kid is looking to survive.
Yeah, they're like, well, I need the food. So for sure he's like, you know what I mean?
Well, my thing, I think Suki is older. I think, well, not older. I'm thinking she's like 18. I mean, they could have been training for this from a younger age.
I think they're all around the same age. Katara, Sokka, and all the other kids that they run up to, except for with the exception of Toph.
I always felt like Suki was a little older. I don't know.
She might be, but I don't think she is. We're gonna have to look at the official wiki or something like that.
We're gonna go to a convention and ask the creators personally.
Like, yo, how old is Suki? What's going on here? What's the age situation here?
Yeah. But that's my assumption at this point.
Right, I'm gonna say 14 because I think Sokka's around 14, 15, and I think Katara being the oldest, I think she's probably 15, 16, depending on what Sokka is. But that's what I think. Because they're clearly close in age. Sokka and Katara, they've got to be like year and a half apart at the minimum, pretty much. So yeah, I mean, that's how I look at it. I think they're about 14, 15.
Yeah.
And they've been fighting since they were children.
Literally.
And I also don't think they're the first.
Yeah.
You know, you have to probably think that this is tradition since Kyoshi died, or since Kyoshi was, founded Kyoshi Island. She was probably training Kyoshi warriors.
Yeah. To protect themselves.
Exactly. And it's passed down generation from young girls growing up, which is, and it must be a choice. I will say it has to be a choice at some point because there's still a lot of little girls in that village who aren't training to be Kyoshi warriors.
Yeah.
So at least there's that. They're not being. It doesn't feel at least that
those
they're being.
Those look like younger girls before they start training, like or right before they start.
What's the age? That's what I'm saying. What's the age? Because those girls right there.
If Suki is
that would be the age.
As Suki is as young as 14, I think like the girls that were chasing Aang around have to be about maybe like say at least 9, anywhere from 9 to 11.
They probably start younger than that.
Age.
Maybe. I think they start younger than that.
Maybe.
For you to entrust them with the safety of your village?
True.
I'm sorry, 4 years isn't enough. You have to have been training for quite some time to have that confidence to be able to go out there.
Like, kids even at that age are sponges at a certain point, and they can train them. True.
I think we're getting off topic.
Just going into theories and stuff.
I mean, but it is. And, well, so basically, yeah, Sokka does humble himself. Suki basically says, okay, we will teach you, but you have to follow all of our traditions, every single one. So he put him in the Kyoshi getup, and he's like, do I have to wear this? And she's like, yeah, you should be fucking proud to wear this shit. And she explains, like, the silk is, like, proud, and the little gold bands means...
gold insignias is symbols honor.
And he was like, pride and honor, and he's like super, and he just got into it. He was like, yeah fuck yeah.
And then Aang has to fuck it up. He has to
nice dress, Sokka. What a dick.
He did that on purpose.
Fucking asshole.
All right, so we cut to. Did we get past this part? Katara practicing water bending.
No, you skipped, yeah, because right here, this is when Katara is getting supplies, and Aang is like,
no, that was before.
No, we're here now. Well, then we skipped it either way, so let's just do them both.
No, that's what she was telling me. Don't let it get to her head.
Well, yeah, but he also was being kind of a jerk because she was like, hey, can you help me take this back to the room? He was like, nah.
Yeah, but that's where it started. And then it ended up.
So then, yeah, you're right. She is practicing her water bending.
And Aang walks in. He's like, remember, I almost got eaten by a unagi earlier. And he's like, all right, I'm going to write it again.
Yep.
And Katara's mad. She's like, do it. Fuck it. What do I care?
Go have fun.
And he's all mad.
And fellas, just so we're clear, have fun is not an invitation to go have fun.
Just don't.
Don't. You lose.
You hear females say have fun?
Don't have fun. You better not have any fun.
She does not mean have fun.
Zero. Have whatever the negative amount of fun you can have is. That's what you should be having.
Do the opposite of fun.
Don't have fun. Be miserable. You need to go ahead. You need to find something to make you miserable. Go watch a movie you don't like. I don't know.
If you're miserable, your girl's happy.
These are facts, man. Misery doesn't love company.
I hate to see it. I hate to say it, but I have my moments.
You guys are getting the knowledge right here. Just take it and run with it.
I'm an actual female. This is truth.
But yeah, so then that's why I put like they kind of argue or whatever. It's not really an argument. It's him being mad that she's not caring anymore because he's still trying to impress her. It's like, dude.
But he's also worried trying to impress everybody else.
Yeah. What a doof. What an absolute doof.
But that represents boys too. They don't get it.
Yeah, exactly, because he's a doof, but it's different because he also has no sense of responsibility at all. Like, if you look at the dynamic of the three of them, Katara knows her. She feels responsible for him in a way. Sokka feels responsible for her and him by proxy because he's always been responsible for the village. He feels responsible. He knows what he has to do.
Like the burden rests on his shoulders.
Yeah, he understands that, which is a lot of why he's doing this training. And it's not even the first or last time he trains in this series. He's always trying to learn more because he understands that not being a bender.
He trains more. He learns more skills.
Yeah.
You see, it's so great, like how much these characters progress. Especially Sokka in that way. He progresses. It's a mental battle for him. I think it's a mental and emotional battle. Mental. You're mental.
What does that have to do with anything?
I mean, can you imagine the trauma you have to go through to have you find out you wake up and you're 100 years later into the future?
Can you imagine the trauma of having the Fire Nation come and kill your mom? I'm just saying, like, we can compare traumas all you want, but he left because he was a coward.
Okay.
And they had no choice in what happened to them.
Okay, true.
I'm just saying. There are realities.
He didn't have parents. He never had parents.
Yeah, he had Kyatsu.
Just because I don't think he was much of a parent.
No, but he was the closest thing he had. He says so himself.
That was like his older friend.
Well, then he wasn't very good at listening to his older friend.
Obviously not.
What a jerk.
Right?
Where are we? Okay, well, Sokka and Suki are training. She's showing him some stuff. They're fighting, and then he gets the best of her. And then that's when you see, like, you know, their little spark or whatever. And this is how they, show their affections. They fight.
He got her down, and she got pissed.
He was like, just admit that I got you.
I'll fuck you up. You better chill, bro.
She was like, I wasn't even going my hardest. He was like, nah, son, I got you. I got you. I got you. I know she came up, snapped his arm, was like, all right, let's do it some more. And then they're fighting. Yeah.
And let's see, what happens next? Oh, you cut to Aang. He's doing his dumb thing, waiting in the water, waiting for the unagi, and I guess it's been a while because
the kids are bored.
Yeah, the girls are like,
oh my God, when is unagi gonna get here?
He tries to entertain them with that
stupid
again.
Trick. They're like, that again?
He's already used it too much. So
sorry, Aang, but that shit sucks.
Pretty much assholes. He got uninteresting because it was like too much, and
he was doing the same shit. Nobody wants to see his same trick.
They had to see him almost get killed for things to be interesting.
Pretty much. Because then the unagi comes and he is getting whipped around by this motherfucker. He's getting his ass handed to him. Katara's like, they're like, oh no, the unagi. And Katara's like, oh my God.
The unagi, because he's hanging off of, what are those things called? Fish whiskers?
Fish whiskers.
Fish whiskers, okay.
I mean, most fish don't have whiskers, so I just call them fish whiskers. Catfish have whiskers.
Yeah, right?
That's why they're called catfish, because of the whiskers.
Though?
I don't know what they're called.
I was going to look up the word for it.
I don't know. Tendril?
I would have educated you guys.
Is tendril a better word? Tendril? I like the word tendril.
Tendril? What does that mean?
It's like a tentacle, but not really. Like a tendril. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm using the right word. I've heard it in like anime and comics and cartoons. Tendril. Goddamn.
Okay.
Tendril.
I'm gonna use Whisker because I'm not sure about Tendril. I'd have to look.
I just hit you with the science, and you still don't even want to take it. All right, fine.
I think
no, shush.
I think you might have made that up. You need to show me the facts. So you're
show you the Carfax. I'll show you the Carfax.
Show me the facts.
Anyways, he's hanging on this Whisker, and he's getting whipped around, and then
he flies off into the water, and
he's just laying there. And then this is dumb idea number 1. So the Unagi and Katara are both trying to get to Aang at the same time. I don't know, man. I don't know a whole lot about this Unagi character, but I seem like he's got the advantage, being in water and swimming super fast and all that stuff.
Well, but Katara does care so much. This shows how much she cares about
I don't know. I would have let that nigga die.
She didn't want to.
I'd have been like, oh no, this is sucks.
I'm telling you, everything confirms that this is destiny. She's the right person to be in his life. They were all the right people to be in each other's lives.
I will always disagree with that.
She actually went to go save him, and what happened? She got to him, right? And that Unagi was gonna come down and swoop him up, basically.
I will always disagree with that.
And guess what she did? Well, you don't have to guess. You saw it. She water bends, and boom, like a huge blast that sends both her and Aang back
to the shore.
Mm-hmm. And they ended up being fine, it seems. But that's when she peeks behind a rock. Aang's unconscious because
unconscious stuff.
Yeah. And
Zuko arrives in Kyoshi.
Mm-hmm. And you see the soldiers get off, and you hear Zuko say he wants Aang alive.
Well, the Avatar alive. No one knows this guy's name.
Not yet. But so she quickly tries to help Aang get the water out of his lungs. And what does he say? What's the first thing he freaking says?
Something stupid. Probably. I don't remember. Did you see me or some shit like that?
Oh, yeah. Something like that. Or was it dumb or something like that?
Yeah, but anyways. So now they're in the village. The Kyoshi warriors get in action and they're fighting, and this shit is dope. They are beating ass, but it's obviously this isn't like an earthbending nation at all here, because there's no earthbenders here. But Kyoshi was an earthbender.
Interesting.
So I felt like somebody somewhere that there should be some earthbenders here, but there's not.
Or an explanation as to why there aren't any earthbenders.
Yeah, is this one of those like Katara being the last waterbender in her tribe? It was just something like genetically it just didn't happen that way. I don't know, but I do know that they were getting that it was kind of like even physically. The Kyoshi warriors had the upper hand, but then you add the fire and stuff into it, and obviously it evens the playing field. So they're doing the best they can. They're fending them off. Sokka's in there getting his hands dirty, beating the shit out of people, and so it's pretty awesome. And then it's around this time that Aang realizes that it's all his fault that this is happening.
Yeah, but the thing is, what Katara wants to do is go. She wants to leave.
Oh yeah, she's like, we have to go now.
Yeah,
if we leave, they'll follow. Which she's right. She's 100% right. They're not here for the Kyoshi warriors anyway.
But the whole village was on fire, and that was the thing. You know what I mean? Like, they're still in barrels, basically, even if they did follow after.
We also get Suki kissing Sokka.
Oh, yeah. They said their little goodbyes, and she's like, no, you have to go. We can handle it,
Because she says they don't have time for goodbyes. He's like, well, what about I'm sorry? I disrespected you. I just because you were a girl. She's like, well, I am a warrior. But I'm also a girl.
And then she gives him kisses. That was cute, though.
It was pretty cute.
You see Sokka connect with somebody because she's a dope-ass warrior and he wants to be a dope-ass warrior. And then they pretty much go their separate ways. And they hop on Appa, the gang. And then Aang's looking back. Katara's like, they'll be okay. And then Aang's like, and he jumps into the water. And
somehow tames the Unagi in seconds.
We grabbed those whiskers.
But how? My thing is that, he was just getting whipped around by this uncontrollable beast, and now he tames him in a matter of seconds?
Well, because before he was acting... Look, we're going to go into the psyche of things. Before, he acted out of fear. He was trying to pretty much not get eaten by the Unagi before. That was just his goal, because... it's a terrifying creature.
You want to hear my theory? Go ahead.
No, let me finish.
Yeah, go.
But now he's being brave. He's taking responsibility. He's like, I have to do something for these villagers. he did something because he knew what he wanted to do. He came out of the water holding on to those whiskers, and he must pull back on the whiskers, made the unagi water bend or something. Oh, not water bend. Squirt water from his mouth.
Just, I guess, water bending in the...
like waterbenders. And it was enough to put the fire out of the village.
You want to hear my theory?
What?
My theory is that based on them keep talking about feeding people to the unagi, that the unagi was the protector of that village. So somehow the unagi had to have known that Aang was the avatar, our sense Kyoshi in him, in a situation that wasn't like, I'm trying to eat you or whatever the case may be. So in that split second, he was like, okay, the village is on fire. You're trying to help. I'm trying to help. Let's get this done. Because it wasn't like, because we saw that the spray that the unagi fires out of his mouth is powerful, like force-wise. We saw it bash it into those rocks when they were hiding from it. But that's not what happened. When the unagi sprayed at the village, it was like a mist. It was more of a mist of water. It was controlled specifically to put the fire out. So my theory is that it knew exactly what it was doing. It wasn't accidental. Like, just opening his mouth wasn't going to make the water come out. He knew exactly what they were doing. They were in tandem in this situation. Because as soon as he let go, the unagi just went back underwater and was like, all right, my job here is done.
No, that actually sounds more plausible.
Thank you.
Really?
Thank you. I heard that.
You could have just given yourself a pat on the back and moved on.
I can't. My arm hurts.
All right, so we're going on, and that's pretty much the end.
Yeah.
He goes back on Appa, and he's like telling Katara.
Like, I know. That was stupid, right? And then she just hugs him. Yes, it was.
In approval, and she's just happy that he's okay and that he did something to help out the village. Yeah.
Still kind of an asshole. It's all his fault. They could have left a long time ago.
Look. They all grow. They're all little assholes in their own way at this point, and they grow. They get there.
Yeah. Katara's the no fun one.
She's the no fun asshole. Sokka's the talk shit asshole.
He's the only necessary asshole, though.
Yeah. I mean, he's an asshole for all the right reasons. He's trying to make sure they're able to do what they need to do, get ready for whatever war they're going to have to face or who they're going to encounter, like Zuko and the Fire Nation soldiers, basically. But,
because that's still happening, even though we're doing this Aang Fun tour.
Yeah, he and Sokka knows damn well, but
that's why he's pissed off every time they have to stop to do some stupid shit like that. Like, the whole time he was riding that koi fish, Sokka was like unimpressed. He was like, I don't give a fuck, bro. We have shit to do.
And that's what makes Sokka seem like such a jerk in the beginning. Like, if you didn't watch the rest of the show at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, that's like, how
Sokka's a dick.
But that's how they portray him, and I think that is intentional too, because it's like his concern for the actual situation throughout from the very first episode, where he's just like, yo, Fire Nation can attack at any time. We don't know if they can, but he doesn't know that they won't. He doesn't understand that they were looking for the Avatar. All he knows for sure is that they attacked once. Mm-hmm. They left the ship here because there was a fight. People were killed, including his parents, or his mom. Like, yeah, he understands that there's seriousness to this shit. So while he's the only person who understands the gravity of the situation, everybody else is living in an actual cartoon.
Yeah.
But he's the only one who's in like a war documentary. Yeah. And that's the difference.
Like, the only problem that I think Sokka really had was letting his pride get in the way of him doing things, but he always comes right back.
He always comes back.
Yeah. And that's the good thing about Sokka. You see him grow, you see him he apologizes multiple times because he knows he F's up.
And most of the time he doesn't have to be coerced to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of times, like in the show, when Aang does something, especially to Katara, he immediately goes and asks Sokka what he should do.
True, huh?
You know what I mean? That's always something that happens. Whereas Sokka, when he fucks up, he's always like, damn, I fucked up. That's on me.
Yeah.
Like, that's on me.
And you see him grow and become more of a man.
He is.
I mean, he's always been the one who wanted to be a leader. He wants to be the man of his tribe and things like that. But you see him actually grow into the man that he's going to be in the future, the warrior.
Because he's awesome.
Yeah, he's pretty dope. Okay, all right. So, out of all the characters, main and side, who...
In, like, the whole... just for the Avatar?
I was saying for what we've seen just so far.
So far? Okay.
Who's your favorite?
Sokka.
Yeah?
I don't know why that's a surprise.
No, I'm not surprised, but...
He's my favorite character in this entire series.
I was seeing Suki. She's badass.
I like Suki, too.
She's pretty badass. If let's say she's 14, right? Around 14 years old, she's pretty freaking dope. And all those Kyoshi warriors.
Yeah, I mean, dope. and I've always have a soft spot for, like, female warriors because I always think that it depends.
There's a lot of adversity that has to be overcome when it comes
just in general, but I always feel like female fighters fight differently than male fighters. For instance, the Fire Nation for the most part, even though later on we do get to see like some women peppered into the ranks and stuff like that, most of them are men and they fight with force. Mm-hmm. They fight with brute force every time. It's power over everything. The Kyoshi warrior said it. It's not about power. It's about using your opponent's speed and leverage against them.
Yeah.
And I like that. I always like quicker fighters. I'm always a big fan of like ninja-esque type fighters. They're always cool to me. Like,
and you know what? They did the animation really well for that too. Yeah. Showing her how when Sokka came to attack her the first time,
and she was like,
she used her fan real quick
and just like kind of moved them. Oh yeah, because if you control the head and the arms, you control anybody. Mm-hmm. Awesome.
And then she went under him, and like when he tried to attack again, she just kind of slid under him and bumped him back. Used his own
tied his hand to his foot.
Yeah, that was fucked up. Yeah, that was
pretty fucked up. She hog-tied him without hog-tying. I'd have been like, can you just kill me right here? I can't.
She just did one hand and one foot.
I can't go back into the world like this. Just end it.
I think that's why he finally had to apologize. He's like, fuck.
Yeah, pretty much.
At this point, he realized he fucked up.
Yeah. So this was cool. This is one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
I like the Kyoshi Warriors.
They're pretty dope. And
I like
we'll be
Kyoshi.
seeing more of them later on in the later episodes, or probably the second season, huh?
I think we come back at least one more time in the first.
Yeah.
For the trial, right?
Yeah.
Or is that second season? We'll see. We'll get there. I think it's first.
Can't remember yet, but we'll come back to that.
Yep. So on that note,
signing off.
Signing off. You got one yet? You got a cool sign off?
Dang it! I'm telling you, I was thinking about this at work, and I still can't come up.
I don't have a sign off. I'm just gonna go. Water Tribe. All day, every day.
Black Lotus Society signing.
We're out of here.
That's
enough of this.